Ojai. Street. Georges, the capital of Grenada, her political and economic center. Population of 2982 people. 2011. Is on the southwest coast of the island of Grenada. Is the important transport hub. The seaport, the international airport works. The food and flavoring industry is developed. The city was founded in 1650. In 1885-1958, the capital of the British colony of Navatreni Islands, since 1974, the capital of independent Grenada. The name was received from church by street. Georges. Saint George. The name of the city is formed from the name of Church Street George. Saint George. Street. Georges is on the southwest coast of the island of Grenada, relating to group of the Lesser Antilles of the Caribbean Sea. The city lies on the bank of the picturesque bay, an amphitheater climbing slopes of hills up to the height of 188 meters above sea level. Weather conditions of the capital are created under the influence of tropical Passatney climate. Average annual air temperature is plus 26 degrees. The average level of rainfall which is dropping out in a year reaches 1960. The rainy season proceeds from May to October. During the period from July to October in the city, hurricanes quite often rage. Street. Georges is located in a zone of tropical rainforests. Natural vegetation is presented by a clove tree, a tree of cocoa and a citrus. In coastal waters, the set of species of fish, mollusks and crustacean meats. Within the city and its vicinities a large number of various tropical birds lives. The population of the capital together with agglomeration exceeds 40,000 people. The ethnic majority in street. Georges. Over 50%. Is presented by blacks. Generally descendants of the black slaves delivered from Africa. About 40% of capital inhabitants, mulattoes, make the rest of the population Indians and Europeans. State language is English, an insignificant part of the population owns as well Patois language, a dialect on the basis of French. The dominating religion, Christianity, Catholicism and Protestantism. Street. Georges is founded by the French colonists in 1650. Originally I represented the small settlement, then the French constructed the fortress near the Harbour Street. Georges intended for protection of the city against invasion of the British troops. British managed to take control of Street. Georges only in 1762, during the 7 Years' War which ran high because of aggravation of fight for colonial possession between England and France. During military operations by Britain all island of Grenada was occupied, however in 1799 it departed to France again. The British domination on the island, and in particular in Street. Georges was officially approved after signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1783. At the end of the 18th century, sea vessels with the African slaves intended for work on plantations of sugarcane began to arrive to Street. Georges Port. Cultivation of this culture brought high income to the English colonialists who located in St. George's. But owing to strong hurricanes, reed plantations enough considerably suffered, and local landowners had to pay special attention to cultivation of spicy plants, including nutmeg, which were in great demand in the world market. After release of slaves in 1834, hired workers from India were involved in cultivation of crops. In 1833, 1957 St. George's belonged to the British colony the British Navitrini Isles, and in 1958, 1962 was in the structure of the West Indian Federation formed by the Government of Great Britain. In 1967, when the island was announced by the Associated Governed State, St. George's became the administrative center of Grenada. After declaration of independence of Grenada in 1974, the city received the status of the capital of the new state. In St. George's also the government residence was placed. In 1983, the capital was occupied by troops of the USA and several countries of the West Indian region. Input of foreign armies on the territory of the island put an end to government of Maurice Bishop, who was the leader of political circles of Grenada. In 1984, in St. George's, the new government headed by the Prime Minister was created. As a result of the political transformations which are carried out by bodies of the central power, there were positive changes in the national economy. In St. George's, travel business began to develop intensively, a number of the industrial enterprises opened, the foreign trade relations with the countries of the Caribbean region were improved. The economic situation of the city considerably worsened in 1997, after cancellation of a special quota of the UN supply of bananas from the states located in the Caribbean region. The Christian churches built in the 17th, 18th centuries and the ancient city strengthenings in the Harbour Street. George's, constructed by the French colonists, street historical and cultural sites of the capital. In St. George's, the office of the West Indian University, where students have an opportunity to graduate, is opened, without going to the continent. In the city, several weekly periodicals are issued, small circulation, also local television and broadcasting function. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.